So now let's go back and have a look at our automation. So there you go. We're going from the HTTP request, extracting the results and appending it in as a row into our research document in a sheet called tracksuit articles. The next thing we want to do is pull out the tracksuit images and make sure they go into the relevant rows in this tab, in this sheet. So let's go back and do that. So essentially what we want is the exact same thing. We want it to come from the HTTP request and we want it to get appended into this in the exact same way, but this time we want it appended into a different sheet. So the bit that we can easily do ourselves is to take this, duplicate it, and in here you'll see the sheet tracksuit articles. We want it to go into the sheet tracksuit images, and we don't want the same columns, so we're going to remove all columns, and this time we can say map automatically. And so what we want to do is we want something exactly like this, but for our image array instead of the results array. And that's because basically what we want to do is we want to get the information from here, instead of into this array, into this sheet, we want to go get the results of the images in a different array and put them into this sheet. So again, we can do that without writing any code by writing something very similar. So I've updated it, put in a new question to AI saying, if there are multiple images, how do I write each image to a row in the same document in a different sheet called the tracksuit images sheet? Let's run that and see what happens. There you go, the AI is finished. So let's see what it said this time. So there's my question. Underneath it went through steps as usual, adding the code, etc., updating node parameters and validating. What's changed? It says added extra images array code node that processes the images array from the API, connected it to write to the tracksuit images sheet. Each image URL is now written as a separate row with search query and research date. The workflow now splits into two parallel paths, one for articles, one for images. The workflow now handles both results and images from the Tavily API, writing each to their respective sheets in the same Google Sheets document. Let me know if you'd like to adjust anything. And it's ready to be executed. So as usual, before we execute, let's have a look at what it did. So as you can see here now, we've got another parallel level. We've still got the results array appending to a row in this sheet, but now we've got the images array appending to a row in a different sheet. So let's double click to open that. So this is doing pretty much the same thing. It's grabbing the data. It's grabbing the images out of that data, which is this, and it's cycling through and grabbing each one of these images. And every time it grabs one, what it's doing is it's adding just the information we need to various variables. So the search query, the image URL, and the research date, which is exactly what's in our sheet, in our Google Sheet. So it's just picking out what we need here. And if I execute this step, we can see it's added the rows here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images. And it's got what the query is, which is the same query every time, and the results that came back from that query, which is the different images. So this is exactly what we want. So let's close that. That was all done for us via AI, no coding necessary. And those 5 items now have come through to this node. And so this is the part that we didn't do before. It's changed this to map each column manually. So that's the first thing. And it's added each of the columns that we need in the Google Sheet, the search query, which it's picked from here and put that in, the image link, which it's picked from here, image URL, and put that in, and the research date, which it's picked from here and put it into there. So now when we run this step, it will take this information for every single row and put that in our Google Doc. And there you go. Here's the information that will be in our Google Doc. And let's go and check. And there you go, as if by magic again, we have the research date on the right hand side to help researchers to know how relevant it is. But more importantly, for this particular query, we have 5 images that we can click on, tracksuits. So that's excellent. So now we've got both tabs, we've got information. Our researchers can use this information to do any follow-up, or our product owner can just go through and check which ones seem to match our brand or that we're interested in using for further development. And it was all done automatically without any code. And it's in a format that is shareable and continuously can be updated from an automation. So now it's your turn. What I want you to do is pick a challenge in your career, your business, or one of your projects, something that's repetitive that you want to solve, and create a workflow inspired by what you've seen in this lesson as usual. So examples for your inspiration: if you're a product manager, then you could use a workflow to store competitor research or feature comparisons in Google Sheets, the way I've shown you. If you're a marketing manager, you could collect campaign ideas, add examples or brand inspiration and store those. An operations manager could track suppliers, materials or logistics research. A sales manager could log competitor pricing, offers and positioning. A founder or a manager could validate product ideas and track market signals over time. Start really simple and use one trigger at a time. So it may be just an API call, or maybe you trigger it yourself. One API and one destination, as I've done. And once you've done that, you're officially thinking like an automation builder, someone who can automate anything in their company. And that's exactly where you want to be. So hope you enjoyed that lesson. See you in the next one.